Welcome to Protect and Grow with Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement with Chicagoland's certified financial planning professional resource. He is Tim Stearns, CFP, founder of TJ Stearns Inc. And Tim, we always turn to you for guidance and advice on this complicated financial world and the economic conditions right now. The news of the day is that we are facing a stalemate. And basically those adults in Washington, or those who could approve or prove that adults are at the wheel, basically playing chicken with the world's largest economy with this debt ceiling debate. What, if anything, do we need to know, worry about? What impact could this have on the markets?
Peter, obviously the markets do not like uncertainty. And this speaks to that. If it doesn't get across the right way, if they don't raise it, in other words, we're going to default on debt, not that type of thing. And that sends the market into a tailspin. That being said, the Republicans are trying to go there with hat in hand saying, hey, we need to cut some things to get it, we'll raise it, but you got to kind of meet us in the middle. And I'm not seeing that. They want a lot of cuts, which not to Medicare, not to Social Security, but they do want to make some cuts, which we need to have, not to military either. But, I think there's got to be some, compromise here. And so far, I don't feel like that's getting there.
Well, I think that either way, those in Washington appreciate a few things. Spending and being reelected and arguing seem to be their favorite things, Tim. But regardless, at some point in time, there probably is some kumbaya moment where they come out with a package that allows for a lot of additional spending. Is that really going to be the solution that is the best thing for the American public and the American economy?
Well, I mean, the best thing is if you and I ran our houses like this, where we just kept, let's say we had a credit card for $20,000 and we went over the limit and we just called the credit card and they said, yeah, you can have more, you can have more, you can have more. That's a pretty bad strategy, and that's what we've been doing forever. So I like what they're trying to do. But again, they need to have a compromise here and kind of meet in the middle so that we can move on with what we need to do here is cut down on inflation, make sure that the markets aren't going to go into a recession-led bear market. These are things that are concerning, and we have so many people calling in to talk to us about what we think the markets are going to do. I think they're going to be fair to middling, this rest of this year because of uncertainty. That being said, last year, the buy and hold strategy for stocks lost $16 trillion. So this is not the year to do a buy and hold. If you think the markets are going to be dropping and coming back a little bit and dropping, it just doesn't make any sense to me to ride out a bear market. You need to be head on a swivel, tactical, active, strategic money management.
Well, again, we are talking with Tim Stearns, CFP, Chicagoland certified financial planning professional resource. If you've got questions, concerns, you are welcome to reach out, be in touch, or give a call and request the time for the Protect and Grow planning strategy session. Get the plan in your hands, a written plan for income, investments, taxes, healthcare, legacy. If you've saved $500,000 or more, the first 10 callers can get that plan. No cost, no obligation. Similar plans can easily go upwards of $1,000 to several thousands of dollars. Before being a listener to the program, Tim does offer this on a limited basis, only so many hours in the day, wants to help folks who have been serious about planning for their financial future complete the plan. If you would like to get your completed Protect and Grow plan, pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. You can meet in person in the office at TJ Stearns Inc. in Arlington Heights, conveniently located, or of course, the ease and convenience of a virtual meeting to get the conversation started. Also, Tim and the team from TJ Stearns Inc. teach classes across the nation, but throughout the Chicagoland area throughout the year. So if you'd like to attend one of those upcoming classes to rethink retirement and rescue your retirement, pick up the phone and give a call. Again, to find out when the next class will be held, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, you mentioned with the debt ceiling debate, the markets don't like uncertainty. When we've had this debate before, the markets had some of their worst years since the Great Recession, or the weeks leading up were some of the worst performing weeks. Investors don't like uncertainty either. We've certainly seen a lot of it over the past 18 months to 2 years, and we hear a lot about the potential for a coming recession into the third and fourth quarter of this year. What are defensive-minded or risk-adverse investors and savers doing right now amidst these uncertain economic conditions?
Well, they're calling us and asking us, these are obviously new clients. They're calling us and asking us, where do you hide? Where do you put some money in that you can return something, but not lose? And that the quick answer is an annuity. I'm not talking about variable annuity. I'm talking about fixed index annuities. Couple reasons I like them. Number one, full disclosure, I own them. The idea here is that, we put some money away into a fixed income product that will guarantee me an income down the road when I'm a little bit older, right? And that's a great place for, my bond area to be, right? If we're doing an income allocation plan, I need to figure out how I can throw off enough money to cover my bills per month and has to have cost of living adjustments. Well, the annuity answers both of those questions. So that is one of the reasons that we're doing a lot of annuities here at our office, because people are concerned about the stock market. And what's great about some of these annuities now, they have tactical money management within them where they actually have volatility controls. And that's what you need right now. I'm not telling you to put 100% of your money in there, but I am telling you that there is a portion that should be in there. You have no guarantees. You even look at, in 21 years, they're saying that Social Security is going to, be only at 80%. Well, the guarantees in these are much better than that. And they're dollar for dollar insured. So at least explore it. One size doesn't fit all, but I would tell you that if you're looking for safety with some growth and something that would give you income, this would be the place to talk about.
Well, Tim, annuities did see record purchases, record deposits in 2021, 2022, and so far in 2023. I know that they have been much debated throughout the years. What is it about annuities that savers, depositors are finding attractive right now?
Guarantees, and that's, there's nothing better in life than a guarantee. So you have guarantees of income. You have guarantees of if the company goes out of business, God forbid, they still are insured. The deposits and the premiums that you've put in there. These are all things that are very important to people. The last thing you want in retirement is uncertainty. Just like the stock markets don't like uncertainty, retirees don't either. So when we're making up a plan, I promise you this, I'd say 9 out of 10 of those plans will have some form of an annuity. And, there's a lot of people who say that, oh, I hate annuities. And you ask why, and they say, because they're bad. And you ask why, and they say, because they're terrible. They're kind of chasing their tail. The devil is in the details. And we make sure that we try to make people understand exactly what an annuity can do and what it can't do. You always have a growth bucket with stop losses and that type of thing, but you need to have something that is stabilizer, that is a base for your retirement.
And what are those qualities, Tim, that savers and investors are finding attractive, or where an annuity may be an appropriate consideration or solution?
The breakdown of what an annuity can do is, number one, it can offer a fixed rate of return, if you want to have something like that. You also can have fixed indexed. That's usually what we put in a plan, because what it's doing is it's actually increasing with you if there is an increase in the market. And you can't go backwards on that. So the high watermark that you make for income will stay there for your lifetime. The other thing I love about these products is that we have mortality credits. You might say, well, what the heck is a mortality credit? That is a mortality credit is when the account is at zero. The very next year, you still get your payment. It's guaranteed. It's a lifetime income. And if I'm married, guess what? My wife gets that too. Social Security doesn't even do that. So why would I not explore it? To make sure that I'm saying, if I'm taking a pass on, at least let me know what exactly I'm taking a pass on. So the lifetime income, I don't know where you could beat that.
Tim, in this environment of lack of pensions for the majority of retirees, the uncertainty that you mentioned surrounding Social Security, market volatility, the responsibility for funding a stable foundation for retirement falls more and more on our own shoulders. That contractual guarantee for lifetime income is something that many are finding attractive and valuable.
Well, it's called peace of mind, right? If I have a mutual fund and I have $100,000 in there over 10 years, the market doesn't do anything, yay or nay. It doesn't do anything. I take out 10 grand a year. At the end of that last year, how much money do I have? I have zero, right? On this, that 11th year, it would still pay out. So I like that. I'm not telling everyone to put 100% of their money in there because there are, stipulations on there. But if I'm looking for something that I'm going to have a income that's guaranteed every month, let's say on the 15th, I get my payment, just like I get my Social Security. It's the best of both worlds for me. And then I have a growth bucket that I can, go do the trips that I want to do, or if something goes wrong at the house, I can dip into that for whatever. But the basic payments that I need are coming from the annuity and my Social Security.
Once again, if you would like to speak with Chicagoland's certified financial planning professional resource, Tim Stearns, CFP, if you'd like to get your Protect and Grow plan put together, pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. And Tim, as we have seen the market volatility and declines over the last 18 months, 2 years, we've also seen a rise and spike in interest rates, which may be of benefit to savers and depositors when considering these kind of fixed and principal protected options.
Actually, raising interest rates, from the Fed is actually a good thing for annuities. It's quite the opposite for bonds. Bonds lost 13% last year. So if you look at the history here, anytime interest rates are going up, it's a bad thing for bonds. It's an inverse relationship that we talk a lot about in our classes. So when interest rates go up for annuities, it increases the payouts, and that is another reason to be looking at this. You'd be locking in at these higher interest rates, which is a great opportunity.
Tim, back in 2007, when we saw market volatility, the Fed cut rates as their means to stimulate the economy. Rates have spiked. We have seen that. There have been some consequences for that. But with the talk of the coming recession, one of the counter discussion points is that, well, the Fed has now the ability to cut rates. When you talk about annuities, I know one of the facets of that conversation deals with the commitment time, which in some way is both a pro and a con, because that commitment time is something that we need to understand going in, but it also means that we may lock in that rate, an attractive rate, for a longer period of time. Whereas with maybe just a 6-month CD, if rates do drop, we may be kicking ourselves for not locking in the rate for a longer period. Right.
So if the recession happens, which it seems to be a self-fulfilling prophecy in the history of our United States here, right now, if you're locking in on a CD of some sort and the interest rates are going to start dropping because of the recession, well, it works to our benefit to actually lock in these higher interest rates that we haven't seen in forever. So that is another reason to do that, because if the market does trigger back, the Fed will most likely cut down these interest rates, which then will, hurt the CDs that you wanted to have out there. This thing, you can lock in a lifetime income at these higher rates, a lifetime income.
Tim, you did mention stipulations. So talking about pros and cons, the good, the bad, the ugly,
Sure.
What are some of the complications of annuities, the stipulations that we would want to consider carefully when discussing one and trying to determine whether it is appropriate for us or not?
Well, when you're putting money into a retirement account that is going to have an annuity in it, it's going to lock the money up. But the whole idea here is that I would have never, let's say I had $300,000 in my IRA that I'm going to put in there, which is what I personally did. I would have never taken that money out all at once anyways. So people did, if I did that, it would be all taxable. So to bleed it out as an income to myself for my lifetime, it only behooves me there, right? So when I'm using IRA money for something like this, it makes sense to be able to lock it up. And I'm also satisfying my required minimum distributions down the road. So it works hand in hand with that. But I'm not telling people if you're going to need a $300,000 down the road to buy something, you wouldn't normally take it from your IRA anyways, because it'd all be taxable. That makes no sense. So yes, you're locking it up for a bit, but if it's an IRA, I want to bleed it out anyways, so I don't create a crazy tax bill.
Given that explanation, Tim, this may seem like an already addressed question, but I think it is one that some out there have. With what you just mentioned, can I then purchase an annuity within my retirement account, within my IRA? And how does that work from a tax standpoint?
Well, there is no tax ramifications from it, because what you would do is take it out of let's say you're in a mutual fund. You would take the money from your mutual fund and just do a rollover into an IRA that would be an annuity. And there's no tax ramifications whatsoever, and there's no tax bill there. And so we handle the transfer paperwork. It never goes into your hands, so we're staying clear of any IRS obligations there. But I mean, these are, it's handled in-house, and that's usually part of an income allocation plan that we do for people.
And through that, Tim, we can actually have that guaranteed income from our retirement account. How would that part be taxed?
No problem. So obviously, if it's an IRA, it's never been taxed by the federal government. It would come out, that amount would be taxable, right, that you're living on per year. It would be taxable if it came out of a mutual fund. The difference here is it's a lifetime income for you and your spouse, versus a mutual fund. When that account gets to zero, that's the end of the show. So I'm talking about lifetime income mortality credits, which is all in the book that we use for our classes, called income allocation.
Once again, we are talking with Tim Stearns, Chicagoland Certified Financial Planning Professional Resource. Tim Stearns, CFP, founder at TJ Stearns Inc. If you've got questions, concerns about the market, about the economy, about your investments, your retirement accounts, your plan for retirement, investments, income, taxes, healthcare, legacy, maximizing Social Security, pick up the phone and give Tim Stearns and TJ Stearns Inc. a call. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. For the first 10 callers to the program with at least $500,000 saved for retirement, Tim does offer the book Income Allocation, as well as the Protect and Grow Plan, a written plan for your financial and retirement future. Get that plan in your hands to address the main questions, issues, concerns, and expenses of retirement. Try to maximize income, protect that income, protect principal, minimize taxes and risk. That's all part of the planning process and the discussions that you have that will help to form that plan, along with the help and assistance of a certified financial planning professional, Tim Stearns, CFP, and a team of qualified, experienced financial, tax, legal professionals. 800-640-2256, the number to call. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. Tim, you mentioned bond alternative. Can you dive a little deeper into that phrase that you mentioned? What are you indicating there when you talk about annuities being a reasonable bond alternative?
Well, bonds in 2021 lost negative 1%. Last year, on average, they lost 13%. My annuity didn't lose any money, because it can't. They are guaranteeing me that I don't have losses in this portfolio. So as interest rates go up, like they did last year, bonds took a hit versus my annuity did not. So that's one thing. The other thing is that I want it to be a bond alternative, as far as the fact that I know that it will throw off so much money based on the percentage that they pay out to me. So I know that I have a guarantee, a bird in the hand down the road as to what I'm going to need, with cost of living adjustments if the market goes up. So we explain all that with people, and obviously they like that better than trying to do a bond portfolio that is not guaranteed. It can lose value. It's God knows how long the duration is, meaning how long the bond is out there. So there's a lot of different reasons that an annuity would be better. The guarantees alone carry the day, in my mind, for myself personally.
Well, Tim, you've talked about the fact that there is certainty, there's protections, there's guarantees removing market volatility and protecting principal. With everything that we have seen with the trouble from the banking system over the past 6 to 12 months, the collapse of Silicon Valley, Signature Bank, First Republic, Pac West, and several others that have discussed similar issues, how do annuities compare as far as safety concerns for our deposit?
Well, that's one of the reasons that most annuities have a surrender charge, right? So there won't be a run on the bank, as they say, or a run on the insurance company. So when they give you bonuses or that type of thing, they're not going to just have everyone knocking on their door to take their money back out when times get dismal or whatever. Because, a lot of times that's an overreaction by the investor. So what the insurance company has done is built in these surrender charges that make sure there is not a run on the insurance company. And that protects all of us as annuity holders. So I like that that's built in, because that does, it makes sure people can't just affect me when I know what a surrender charge is. We explain that to our clients. It's to keep the safety of principal that we have, plus liquidity for my payments per month.
So, Tim, what on the surface level seems like it may be a little bit of a limitation truly is there for the protection of our deposits and the deposits of all depositors with these insurance companies?
Exactly. It protects all of us shareholders from the company being run on and everyone trying to take their money all at once. If they do, they'll get a haircut, because when we signed up for these annuities, I include myself in that statement, it's for the long haul. It's for my retirement. It's for my income. It's for a guarantee that they are offering me. And by having that, it's stipulations that will take care of me and my family.
Well, once again, Tim, record purchases, record deposits into annuities throughout 2021, 2022, and so far into 2023. So there are certain qualities of annuities that savers, depositors, investors, retirees, pre-retirees are finding attractive. And how do you help somebody weigh the pros, the cons, the qualities of an annuity to determine whether or not it is appropriate?
Well, when we do an income allocation plan, we are spelling out to them, hey, this is the amount of money you'll be receiving per month. It's guaranteed for your lifetime. And if you're married, it's for your spouse as well. So we spell that out and then show them the growth bucket that has tactical money management. It kind of works hand in hand, so they have a guarantee in one, and the other hand, they're trying to get growth and use it for liquidity. So that's an income allocation plan is perfect for this.
So, Tim, how do you help clients determine what is the proper mix and balance there of safe, protected, and guaranteed versus growth opportunity and risk?
Well, if I'm using asset allocation, which is where I'll just be in mutual funds and stocks and that type of thing, if I run out, I run out. With this income allocation, what we're doing is we can do more with less. It's about leverage, really. And so I can do a lot more with $300,000 in an annuity than I could if it was in a portfolio. Because if I'm going to live on a percentage, let's say the 4% rule that people used in the 90s and early 2000s, chances are that's 67% of the time that fails. So I can actually use the leverage of the annuity to put more money in the growth bucket that I can use tactically, right? With knowing that every month on the 15th, let's say, I'm getting my bills paid. And here's the best part. If the market goes up, that's priced into my payment per month, and I'll never go below that high water mark. I don't know of any better safety, because in 1974, they came up with ERISA, which introduced 401ks. It's about 90% of the population out there is dealing with that. Most of us don't have annuities, a pension, and this is my pension. How else would I get through it? That's how everyone did it back in the yesteryear, and I'm saying that now we need that more than ever.
Tim, if people are hearing from their source of information that everything's going to be fine, just ride it out, stay the course, or that everyone has lost money, where should we consider or reconsider that information? And since account balances are down, yes, we've seen the market help us recoup much of the losses of 2022 here now in 2023. Tim, is this a good time to maybe reconsider the current path and course we are on?
What 2022 should have taught you is that you need a plan, and you're not going to just try to wing it through retirement. So yeah, I think it is a good time to make sure that you understand what investments are out there. to be able to say yes or no that you don't or do not want, you do or do not want an annuity. You want to make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into. Baby boomers, there's about 67% now they're saying that want a plan, and they don't have a plan. A lot of the people that would come in here show us these illustrations that another advisor came up with where the market's going to go up at a 6% clip for their lifetime. I don't know of any stock market in my 29 years that has done that. It only takes a year like last year to teach you that that's not fathomable, and we need to make sure that we understand what risk we have in our portfolios.
Well, if you would like principal protection, income protection, decrease the risk to the portfolio, increase the income, help to manage and better plan and prepare for, understand the taxes, maximize Social Security. It's all part of the Protect and Grow plan, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up the phone and give certified financial planning professional resource Tim Stearns, CFP, a call today at TJ Stearns Inc. and set up a time for an initial discussion and the complimentary planning strategy session. Get your Protect and Grow plan, looking at investments, income, taxes, healthcare, and legacy, and mapping it all out, putting it in writing. Pick up the phone, give a call for that complimentary, no cost, no obligation, Protect and Grow plan now. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. Tim, always a pleasure having you on the program, bringing us a dose of reality and common sense for our planning. Thank you for being here as our resource and the resource for Chicagoland.
Oh, thanks, Peter.
Tune into Chicagoland Certified Financial Planner Tim Stearns' full radio program and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.